Hey viewers, welcome back to the channel. We are going to be taking a look at Bismarck versus Vanguard today. We got aiming system mod 1, steering gear mod 2, concealment system mod, main battery mod 3. For the commander, we got Azurlane Heinrich. We have flammable cannoneer, gyrating drill bits, marksmanship, and then Heinrich's hunch punch, and then fight fire with fire. And then inspirations, we got Andrew Cunningham in Azurlane, Colorado. As for the loadout, we have enhanced secondaries if you want it, but I use observation seaplane, and you also have a catapult fighter and sonar comes in handy. Epic battle booster, type 9 camo, which is I've got two different camos. I got the Varg and the Pestilent Varg from the Halloween update. German Unity flag. Spec survivability 69,200 hit points, 22% torpedo reduction. Fire resistance is 28%. Max main battery 380mm L52 SKC34, 4x2 of those, 4 turrets, 2 guns in each, 20km max range, 22-second reload time, 33-second turret traverse, 2.35 shell grouping, and then max range vertical dispersion is 134 meters, and then horizontal is 223.4 meters. Max range vertical dispersion is 34.2 meters, and then horizontal is 57 meters. Maximum HE shell damage is 4,400, and then muzzle velocity is 820 meters per second. Fire setting chance 34%. 95mm armor penetration. Maximum AP shell damage is 12,876. Initial is 11,600. Same muzzle velocity. 759mm armor penetration at point blank range. At max range it's going to be 414mm. Minimum ricochet angle is 45 degrees, guaranteed 65 degrees, and then fuse timer 33 seconds, 63mm of armor before the fuse timer is activated. Secondaries, we got the 105 L65 DOP LC31s. You got two turrets, or two mounts with 2 guns in each, and then it reaches out to 6.7 kilometers, but initial 7.5. With Heinrich it lowers your secondary reach. Reload time is 3.9 seconds, 1 for shell grouping. Max range vertical dispersion 391 meters, and then the same for horizontal. The medium max range vertical dispersion is 234.6 meters, same for horizontal. Max HE shell damage 1200, muzzle velocity 900 meters per second, fire setting chance 5%, armor penetration 20mm. And then you also have the 150mm, that's what's on the GJ Maker or whatever destroyer. I hope I pronounced that right. You got 6 of those mounts with 2 guns in each, 6.7 kilometer range. It's the same. The reload time's the same. Shell grouping's the same, and the max range vertical dispersion is identical. The only difference is you get 1700 HE shell damage, 875 meters per second muzzle velocity, a little slower but a heavier shell. Fire setting chance 8%, armor penetration 38mm, and then you got the other 105s, the 65 caliber I believe it is. And you got 6x2 of those, 6 mounts with 2 guns in each, 6.7 kilometer range. Saying 3.9 second reload time, so a little bit quicker, but the dispersion and everything's the same, and I believe the damage is identical. Yes it is. And then for the AA defense, you got the dual purpose 105s. We just went over those. For the 37mm flak, it's 134 damage per second, 3.5 kilometer range. The 20mm 38s is 108 damage per second, 16x4, 16 mounts with 4 guns in each. Firing range 2 kilometers. And then you got the dual purpose 105s. We just went over those. 20mm 38s, 95 damage per second, 2 kilometer range, and you got 14x1 of those. Maneuverability 29.8 knot top speed, 850 meter turn circle, 12.8 second rudder shift time, and the rest of this is the same as any battleship. Concealment, you got a detectability range by sea is 13.3 kilometers. After firing main guns, it's 20.7 kilometers. When the ship is on fire, it's 15.3 kilometers. Detectability range by air is 11.1 kilometers. After firing main guns, it's 18.7 kilometers. When the ship is on fire, it's 14.1. Guaranteed detectability range 2. While firing in smoke, it's 14.1 kilometers. Armor, you got a 50 millimeter bottom of the front on your bow, and then the front deck is 32 millimeters, and then the front bow is 32 millimeters. The armor belt on the bow is 60 millimeters. 180 millimeters of armor between the bow and the rest of the ship. You got a 50 millimeter bottom in the back. You got a 32 millimeter stern. You got a 32 millimeter stern deck. You got a 60 millimeter belt on the stern, and then 110 millimeters armor between that and the rest of the ship. 25 millimeter by 245 millimeter torpedo side protection. The top side plating, the superstructure 19 millimeters, and then the conning tower is 50 millimeters by 220 millimeter. Conning tower bottom is 50 millimeters. And then the side plating is 150 by 350 millimeter for the conning tower, and then the superstructure itself is 19 millimeters, so people can really chunk you with that. The casemate armor for the whole ship, 110 by 145 in the back, and then 145 by 220 millimeter in the front. Then the armor belt is 160 millimeter by 320 millimeter. It's got a pretty good armor belt. You can bounce just about anything. The deck is 50 millimeter by 120 millimeter. Top plate of the turrets is 130 millimeter by 150 millimeter. Rear plates is 320 millimeters. Side plating is 150 millimeter by 220 millimeter. 150 millimeter for the bottom plate, and then the barbet's 340 millimeters. And then the frontal plate is 360 millimeters. Your citadel is 110 millimeters in the rear, and the citadel bottom is 50 in the back, and then the citadel front is 180 millimeter. Citadel deck 80 millimeter by 110 millimeter, and then the citadel torpedo bulkhead is 45 millimeters of armor. And then as you can see here, the armor in orange can cause 406 and lower caliber shells to ricochet. And then the dark orange is 203, can resist HE shells from 203 and up. Cruiser grade armor for the citadel deck, and then battleship grade armor for the citadel. Okay, ironclad. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a while. Vanguard versus Bismarck. It will be fair because one match I will be going in Bismarck against Vanguard AI, and then another match I'll be doing Vanguard against Bismarck AI. That way it's equal for both of them. Ironclad above average, armor thickness, greater resistance to all forms of armor penetration. Secondary reach above average, secondary battery range, tug above average base HP rating. By the start of World War II, Bismarck was one of the mightiest battleships in the world owing to her advanced gunfire control system and powerful artillery. Her rugged construction, elaborate subdivision into compartments, and extensive armor ensured a high level of endurance. In her service 1940. 2 ships in service, her sister is Tirpitz. Now let's go to Vanguard. For Vanguard, we got Bruce Fraser as a commander. We also have aiming system mod 1, steering gear mod 2, concealment system mod, main battery mod 3, flammable cannoneer, gyrating drill bits, reformer, master mechanic, fight fire with fire, inspirations, Andrew Cunningham, Azure Lane, Colorado. For the loadout, we have the reload battery mod, 5 hills, 1600, and 65 HP per second. And then you have the enhanced secondaries, standard camo, And then you got the Battle of Cape Matapan. Specs: 68,830 hit points, 25% torpedo damage reduction, 28% resistance to fires. And then for the main battery, you got 381mm 42 Mark 1, 4x2, 4 turrets with one in each, or 2 guns in each, 20km range, so that's the same, 21-second reload time, 28-second turret traverse, 2.25 shell grouping, max range vertical dispersion 124.3 meters, horizontal is 207.2 meters, medium max range vertical dispersion is 33.1 meters, horizontal is 55.2 meters, HE shell damage 5,800, 836 meter per second muzzle velocity, 42% chance to set fire, 95mm armor penetration, max AP shell damage is 13,500, initials 12,500, same muzzle velocity, 781mm armor penetration at point blank range, max range is 414mm, minimum ricochet angle is 45 degrees, guaranteed 60 degrees, a little bit less on the fuse timer, 15 seconds. Fuse arming threshold 64mm of armor. Secondaries: you have the 134mm 50 Mark 1s. You got 8 mounts with 2 guns in each, 5.2km range, 6.7 second reload time, 1 for the shell grouping. Max range vertical dispersion is 312.8 meters. Horizontal is the same. Max range vertical dispersion is 187.7 meters. It's the same for horizontal. Max HE shell damage is 1900. Muzzle velocity is 792 meter per second. Fire setting chance is 8%. Armor penetration is 22mm. AA, you get the 40mm Bofors, and then there's 11 mounts with 1 gun in each. 255 damage per second, firing range 3.5 kilometers. 40mm Stag, 1 mount with 2 guns in each, 23 damage per second, 3.5 kilometer range. You got the 134mm. You got 8 mounts with 2 guns in each, 60 damage per second, 5.2 kilometer range. You got the 40mm Bofors, 10x6 of those, 10 mounts with 6 guns in each, 231 damage per second. Initials 346. I don't know why that's lower. The range is 3.5 kilometers. Maneuverability 28.8 knot top speed, 850 meter turn circle, 10.1 second rudder shift time. And the rest of this is the same as any battleship, except for the reverse threshold is 9 knots and the front is 7 knots going forward. Concealment. Detectability range by sea is 13.1 kilometers. After firing main guns is 20.6 kilometers. Detectability when the ship is on fire, it's 15.1 kilometers. Detectability range by sea is 11 kilometers. After firing main guns, it's 18.6 kilometers. When the ship is on fire, it's 14. Guaranteed is 2, and after firing guns, main smoke is 13.9. Armor. You have a 50mm of armor on the bow, underneath 32mm bow, and that armor belt on the front is 64mm and 310mm, and then the armor plate connecting the bow to the ship is 38mm, and then the deck is 32mm in the front. At the stern you got 50mm of armor underneath, and then and then the side plating armor is 32mm but 310mm, same as the bow. The deck is 32mm also, and then the whole stern itself is 32mm of armor. And then you got a 38mm plate holding it to the ship. Torpedo protection, 38mm. The armor belt for the torpedoes is 229mm by 235mm. And then the bottom is 50mm. The superstructure, 19mm all over, which is weird. There's no armor conning tower, I guess, to save weight. Aftward is 25mm by 305mm. The front's the same. And then the armor belt is 32mm by 356mm. You can bounce any shell off that. Deck is 32mm. The turrets they're not armored well, but they are just Queen Elizabeth and Warspite turrets. So top plate 152mm, rear plate 178mm, side plating 228mm, bottom plate 76mm, barbette armor 50mm by 305mm. Frontal plate is 343mm. Citadel bottom is 50mm. The Citadel armor belt is 343mm by 356mm. Citadel deck 32mm by 50mm. Citadel afterwards, so that's the rear, it's 38mm by 305mm. The torpedo bulkhead is 37mm by 44. Citadel front is 38mm by 305mm. So yeah, this has the same guns as Hood and Queen Elizabeth class and all that. Superior HE shell pin, above average HE shell penetration, greater heal, repair party, restore severe damage, barrage, equipped or can be equipped with main battery reload booster. The last battleship of the British Royal Navy, due to the specific conditions of her construction phase, she combined high-speed, powerful AA and up-to-date equipment, while still preserving obsolete main battery guns in her service. 1946, ships in service 1. And here we go. We are going to go ahead and start with Vanguard today, which is, I don't understand why they didn't just put the 406mm guns off of Rodney onto Vanguard, or at least put 419mm guns on it. That would have been sick, and put it in 3-gun turrets, that would have been even better. So this is the start of the battle right now. Here we go. Getting started with this battle. We are starting with Vanguard versus Bismarck. And in a minute I will be doing Bismarck versus Vanguard. That way I can give both of them an equal chance. Because you know how AI is on this game. I wish I could have got somebody else in a game with me so we could have just done one-on-one, but of course Wargaming doesn't allow that. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thanks for stopping by. I've been wanting to see this battle. I know a lot of people probably would have wished and seen how Vanguard did with Bismarck in real life. This is the closest we can get until I can get a PC, and there's more realistic ship game on there. It actually is more realistic in real life. I'll start making videos on it. I think it's War on the Seas. Yeah, if I ever get me a gaming PC, I'll start making videos like that instead. For these more realistic battles, I guess you could say. The ones I'd want to see that never happen. Another one I'd like to see is Iowa versus Bismarck, which I will do a video on that for you guys. And then Tirpitz and Bismarck versus Rodney and Nelson. That'd be another good one. But thanks for stopping by. You guys have a good day. I hope you enjoyed the video.
指揮官くん、敵を確認したよ。気をつけて。